Guys, what's going on, and welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Pat Lano. We are back with another video. Shout out to everybody that subscribes to the channel, that likes my videos, that likes kicking and just hanging out with me. And we're gonna just talk today. We're just gonna chat. I'm gonna give you an update on the progression of this year as far as trading cards go. You know, one of the biggest sets that I love right now is this Final Fantasy, Magic the Gathering Final Fantasy set that's come out. I picked up this gift bundle. I paid scalper prices for it. I'm paying way too much money for all this stuff, but you know, it is just completely a fun set. Just to show you guys real quick, I pulled this out of a collector's boosters pack. Um, Pulled a Vivi out of a player booster pack. I have another one, which it wasn't like fully centered, but I pulled this out of the same collector booster pack, this Squall, and that is a foil. Sorry, messed up my camera. So it's been a very fun year for me. You know, Final Fantasy VII was like something that I played as a child. You know, I reached out to my boy who was a huge Magic the Gathering fan, and he was like, "I'll never forget you breaking down Final Fantasy VII for me." And it's just something that it doesn't matter, like if you were a gamer, if we're talking about video games, at some point Final Fantasy VII will be brought up in the discussion. I have even started building a collection of just Final Fantasy VII cards, right? So all these cards are literally Final Fantasy VII only, and I think that's going to be my angle of attack. It's just going to be Final Fantasy VII cards all the way across the board, and that's what I love to collect. One cool thing that I'm doing right now. So a lot of the times when sets come out, they explode, right? The initial spike of the set goes up. It's with everything. Even it's like with crypto, right? So if a new crypto comes out, right? When Trump coin came out, spiked up crazy, and then what's it end up doing? It just kind of settles and then it dies for a while, right? Does that mean the market's not there anymore? No, absolutely not. The market is always going to be there. It doesn't matter what it's for. It always does it because it is the most hyped up thing during that time. It's extremely exciting. And people want to spend money on stuff, especially this Final Fantasy Magic the Gathering set. If you think about it, it's not just your normal Magic the Gathering people anymore. It's not just, you know, that set group of people that like to trading card game, play it and stuff. Like I said, I've done a video before in the past, and I don't collect or I don't play Magic the Gathering, but I am surely collecting the cards now. I just sent out. So what I've been doing with so eBay's providing a service now, which I'm kind of giving you guys a little bit of a juicy tidbit of information. It's been working for me. Now, of course, I've gotten one card graded through this service, right, through eBay. So I purchase and sell through eBay predominantly. That is like my go-to. I've been a eBay. I've had an eBay account since 2011, y'all. So I've been in the game for over 10 years now, buying and selling, reselling cards on eBay. And one of the coolest new things that they've done or added for us graders, you know, and I'm a grader. That's what I do 100% wholeheartedly. I love graded cards. I love to grade cards. I love adding value to cards. So what I'm doing is I'm sending these cards that I'm purchasing, as long as it's $250 and above, you can add grading services through PSA now, through eBay. So what you'll do is, right, you win an auction, you purchase a card, and as long as you have a physical home address, you can't send it to a PO box. You can't send it to, like, I don't know if you could send it to a FPO box or anything like that for the military people. But for the most part, if you have a physical address that you can send the card to, the card will be mailed out to you after they grade it, and it goes through authentication guaranteed or authenticity guaranteed. Okay, so I'll tell you the entire process and why I'm in love with it. Okay, I'm in love with it. I just started doing it, especially significantly for these Final Fantasy Magic the Gathering cards. So, you know, there were some expensive cards at the time. So, for instance, there was a Tifa. It's the commander. It's the commander deck Tifa. They also had a Sephiroth, which I purchased. Lightning. I picked up one of her cards, and I'm glad that I waited. But the Ishtola is going to starting to come down. So I might go into Ishtola here soon as well. And everybody knows about Ishtola. She like is probably the top character to collect. So at this time, her and Sephiroth are competing, but I like Sephiroth more because I know a little bit more about Sephiroth and his like mysteriousness and whatnot. So, anyways, the so I've been purchasing some cards about 250 plus, like I said, and depending upon the price, you get different types of services. So I paid 80 bucks to grade a Sephiroth. Okay. What happens is the card goes to authenticity guarantee. So the seller will ship it to authenticity guarantee. And then from authenticity guarantee, as long as it checks out and matches, this is what's so key, y'all, because I'll tell you another story here in a second. After it matches the listing, right? So if you have all these different categories now for card conditioning on eBay, right? So you have near mint to mint, you have excellent, you have very good and poor. All right. There's 4 categories that you can summarize them to be. eBay even actually has a guide or a catalog that you can look through and figure out where your card stands. But nowadays, if you have a $250 plus card, you're going to want to make sure that you're within what they're stating. Okay, this is so important. And the reason why is because they will send you your card back. They will give me a refund as the buyer, and they will send that card back to you. And therefore, you missed out on that sale, right? So make sure that you are putting the proper conditioning on these cards as you list these cards, especially if they're $250 or more. If they're like $249 or less, they do not pass through authenticity guarantee, okay? And then they're not returned to sender. This goes straight to you as the buyer. So as long as the cards are $249 and below, you can put whatever it is, but make sure you're doing it right, because the purchaser will look at it and be like, hey man, this card isn't what you said it was, and then therefore you're going to have to go through this, that, and so forth with the people. They might want a refund, they might demand a return. So just to avoid all that, make sure you're doing the right thing. Authenticity guarantee, a little bit more different, a little more stringent. What they do is they'll receive the card, they check the authenticity portion of it, they say, okay, it's authentic. Now we're going to do a 10-point inspection on the card, which I love. So for me as a grader, all I really have to focus on is centering. Okay, I got to focus on centering. So I'll look at the card, I'll make sure it's as centered as possible. And then what I'll do is I will buy the card and I'll send it to PSA. Now, PSA gets the card, they overlook it, they make sure that it falls within its guidelines or its standards and it meets the listings card condition. So if there's a ding on the card, if there's any type of surface issue, indentation, scratches, anything like that, that doesn't match the near mint condition, which we're all aiming for, right? You can almost narrow down your searches for near mint and send it to PSA. If PSA checks out and says it's good, it goes to the next stage and it'll go to grading. So then once they're grading the card, right, now you know, okay, well, I got a shot. I got a shot from anywhere from like an 8 to a 10 because it passed the near mint portion. So the focus would be now is like, hey, I need to focus on the centering, because centering is huge now because PSA is extremely particular. They narrowed the margins on us. They put it from 60 to 40 to now 55 to 45. So they're really, really particular about grading on centering now. And then also what they'll do is they'll check the corners, they'll check the overall surface of the card. And then, you want to try to just focus on getting as center as possible. So it's really streamlined for graders like myself to be in a certain segment, right? Near mint 8 and above. Okay. Now, do I want a near mint 8? No. What are we all shooting for? We're all shooting for 10, right? Because when we resell or when we collect something, we want it to be perfect. I don't know what it is about you guys. I'm different. Okay. I've known people that collect 9s and they're fine with that. But I like perfection. I want gem mint. I want that 10. I want the top. And that's just how I am. I'm a perfectionist at heart. So keep that in mind. eBay's new service is amazing. I love it. It's great. It works for me as a grader. So that's one thing that we got going on. And so predominantly, right, with this Final Fantasy, this Magic the Gathering set, I have been trying to grade these cards, and I'm going to collect them for myself. I'm going to use them as like, desk art or whatever. Wherever I'm working, I'm going to have these cards up, and I'm going to have them as kind of like a keepsake collector's item, because that was such an iconic genre. It's got me in. So I've never been into Pokemon. For me, Pokemon, and I don't want to, I'm not knocking anybody that collects Pokemon that's grown. Okay. To me, it's just, I feel like I can't relate to it because it is kind of like childish looking art, right? Like they're cartoons. Um, they have the series, animated series and stuff like that. Now I know people out there, you guys love your Pokemon, and hey, to each their own, and that is fine with me. For me, um, what really brought me into the anime segment, what brought me into collecting the anime stuff and cards, is this Magic the Gathering set. The Final Fantasy art, right? The Japanese art has translated into card collecting now. Magic the Gathering is a legit card company. Wizards of the Coast, reputable, known for their cards, right? Pokemon initially started with Wizards of the Coast. So I am loving every little bit of this, every second of it. I've opened a box already of player boosters or play boosters. I've got a collector boosters box that I've bought and I'm just holding on to. I'm looking to get like acrylic case to protect it. I want to keep it in its form. Um, you know, I've just, this is probably going to, this is going to bring my expenses up this year, just for that. But I am loving every second of it. I'm enjoying it. I really do appreciate the eBay, what they're trying to do. They're trying to streamline. They're trying to get you to use their services. PSA has collabed with them, and it's working out really good for me. Now, the other story I wanted to tell you was I bought a cloud. I bought a cloud that the seller stated that it was in near mint condition, right? I checked out the centering. It looked good. So I purchased the card, and it was expensive. I mean, at the time, I think it was like anywhere from $500 to $600 because I bought it at kind of the peak. It's starting to soften. The market is starting to soften a little bit. The singles are, right? People are getting fulfilled. People's demand are being met. And so what happens is right, prices tend to come down because it's those initial people that are willing to spend money to get those cards. So that it's the demand's being filled now. So the card prices are coming down. So for me, that's great, right? Like as long as I can find well-centered cards in good condition, I'm going to continue to buy. But going back to the story, right? So purchased this cloud. The cloud got to authenticity guarantee, and I got a message. I got a message from eBay. So eBay sends me a message and says, hey, this card does not meet the condition that was specified on the listing. So I'm like, interesting. They were like, what would you like to do? Would you like us to move forward, or would you like to send the card back? And what had happened is they even show you, right, with an image of the card. And I'll try to bring it up for you guys so that you can see as I edit the video. They brought up an image of the card and they said, hey, listen, on the back of the card, there is a little bit of a crease indentation in the card. Creases, cards, guys, no. That is poor. You do not want any type of creasing in your cards. You don't want any of that. That significantly drops the value. You're like already at a 4 below. Okay. And I know this because I've dealt with a lot of vintage cards this year where the guy that I've sent cards in for has had creases in the cards. Creases are a no. I mean, I've even gotten cards back as a 1. It's just a PR1. Okay. So creases in cards are bad. It significantly reduces the value of the card. Cards need to be completely without creases intact if you want to collect it, right, and be happy. Now, there are people that collect creased cards, right? Like I'm sure there's some Mickey Mantle collectors out there that have some creased cards, some of the vintage stuff that have creases in it. And that's just how it was back then. I heard they used to put it in the spokes of their bicycles and ride around. Cards were different back then. People didn't take it so seriously. Now everything instantly either goes into a one touch, right? One of these magnetic card savers, or at least a penny sleeve, right? People are just so OCD now with their cards. So what does that mean? Later on down the road, there probably aren't going to be, it's not going to be much rare. There isn't going to be rarity. I'm sorry, that was probably the way to say it. There isn't going to be as much rarity when it comes to collecting, because everybody nowadays either will put it in a binder, they're putting it into these soft sleeves, top loaded, graded, right? I've seen huge spikes in graded cards these days. I think, the Zion Williamson base card is like 25,000 graded PSA 10. You don't want to collect a card that's been graded 25,000 times at a PSA 10 rate, because that means that it's not rare. How are you going to fulfill that demand, especially when he's not performing at the way that we were all expecting for him to perform? So, but yeah, so they sent me that little message. They said, hey, listen, do you want us to move forward, or would you like to get a refund and send the card back? So in which I did, I sent the card back, because my whole intent was to grade it. And I'm looking for 10s, y'all. Okay. Some of y'all might fire at me like, hey man, that's messed up, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but like I told you from the gate, I'm a perfectionist. I like nice things. I'm aiming for PSA Gem Mint 10. If I get a 9 or an 8, I get it, but at least it has to be within. So eBay is protecting the buyer like they always do, and especially within this grading service. They're doing these full 10-point inspections, or however many point, 4-point inspection, right? You get your sides, corners, surface, and centering. So it's good. It's good. I love it. I like it. I'm going to use it more often now. It's going to help streamline things. Now, the only thing is it's expensive. Okay, so if anything's like above $500 range, you're going to pay like $79.99 to get the card graded. So make it worth your while if you're paying $79.99 to get a card graded. If it is $250 to about $500, I believe, don't quote me on that, it'll cost $39.99. So I think the normal is like $34.99 if you have a collector's, a membership with PSA. So if I were to receive the card and send it out, it would cost me a little bit less, but you have to ship it, right? So shipping probably costs more. So I think that it's a perfect thing. Just buy it from PSA, or buy it from eBay, send it to PSA, let them handle it, let them do all the work now. It is an amazing service. So I am in love with it. It might take you guys a little while to get up to the point where you can afford to buy $250 cards, $1,000 cards. But nowadays, with this service that they're providing, it takes away having to touch too many hands. It takes away you receiving it, so it being in the mail for too long, any type of you losing it, whatever. You're covered these days, because it just goes straight to authenticity guarantee in Santa Ana, and then it goes right into PSA. And you go head of the line privileges, because you're pretty much paying the top tier value when you're trying to grade the card. So love what they're doing now. And the reason why I'm so excited is because I just got my Sephiroth graded, and I got a PSA Gem Mint 10 on it. So when that card comes in, I will definitely show you guys PSA Gem Mint 10 Sephiroth Surge Foil. I think I paid like $700 for it, because I paid it at the height of the market, but I'm covered now. I boosted the value of it, right? To me, I boosted the value. And the Surge Foils are already super rare, right? Like getting a Sephiroth Surge Foil is hard. Like try to go pull one of those. You might open 3, 4, maybe even 5 boxes before you see one that you're looking for. And I was more focused on the top tier cards, right? The ones that are harder to pull, the ones that are going for good money. And so that's where I'm at right now with Final Fantasy. And so shout out to everybody that is watching this and has stuck with me up to this point. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, go ahead. It's a good place, because I'm in the market. I'm in the card market, trading card market, sports card market, all that stuff. I'm so focused, laser focused, and I am, I'm retiring soon. So, 42, retiring, right? pension benefits and all that other stuff. And then I'm going to be trying to focus on just, you know, making a little money here and there. And I feel like sports cards is a good place that I can make some side passive income. And with eBay now and them helping me out, I mean, shoot, man, it's going to make it a lot easier, streamlining that. And it's, you know, we'll see where it goes and how it takes us. Now, if I got a 9 or an 8, would I be doing this? I don't know. I don't know if I'd be doing this video. I might be upset, but I think it's because I did get that 10. And I'm not guaranteeing you that you're going to get a 10. And because nothing's guaranteed, right? Especially when you don't have it in your hand, you can't see it. But it's nice to know that PSA is doing that 4-point inspection before they actually send it off to the grading company. Because if I got that back, or to PSA, because if I got that back as a 7 or below, I'm crushed, right? I'm crushed. I got spent $80 into the card. I paid the max of it. So just got lucky. You know, I'm blessed. And, you know, shout out to each and every one of you that subscribe to the channel. If you enjoyed this content, please subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button. Let me know what you think's in the comment section below about all this, about eBay taking that and providing this service and streamlining it for us graders. It is an amazing thing that nowadays I don't have to just buy up a whole bunch of cards, package it up, ship it out, especially the high-end dollar stuff. Like, me shipping that out is anxiety and stress, just hoping that it gets to PSA. At least I'm covered in between now, and that is what it's all about. So if you guys enjoyed this video, once again, smash that like button, hit the subscribe. Let me know in the comment section below what you think about all this. Do you think that eBay and PSA's service is a plus? Is it a good thing? Would you use this service? Yeah, we'll talk to you guys here in the next one. All right. God bless y'all. See y'all. Peace.